Hi guys, today I wanted to talk about the concept of growing an idea. And I like to use the example of an idea is like a tree. They have a similar life cycle. So take the example of a tree. First it starts as a seed in the ground. Eventually that seed will shed its shell and the life force that's inside will move around in the dirt and it can function there, but really what it wants to do is break through and become a seedling. So it breaks through the dirt, starts to grow, and a little bit of life is there. Now, in these early stages, it might not make it, but given enough time and nurturing and care and investment and love for that plant, it will start to grow and become a plant, and then eventually it starts to become a tree. And then that tree then is self-sufficient. It can rely on its roots and what's in the ground and the elements around it to survive. It still has a lot of work to do. It has to keep growing. So again, over time and nurturing and care and investment, it will grow and grow and grow. And eventually it becomes a tall tree which stands on its own and not much can knock it down. So this is similar to ideas. So we all have great ideas in our minds. And I see them as like seeds. Every idea has a seed. Usually that seed is like a question, a thought, an experience, a problem or a solution that you want to see kind of happen. So the seed can sit in your mind. We all have lots of ideas and seeds running around in our mind. And we think that would be cool, but only if I had more time, more money, more education, more skills, knew the right people. So it's easy to come up with excuses not to really unleash our ideas. Or we have fear of judgment, fear of ridicule, fear of rejection, fear of it not working, fear of us not looking good, fear of mistakes, all this stuff. So just fear and excuses. When really, an idea's purpose is just to flourish and grow and become something, It might become something tangible, it might become something intangible, but basically every idea has a life force. So it can start as like a seed in your mind. And then if you're willing to plant that seed in the ground and give it a foundation to grow, then that idea can actually start to spread out and it becomes more nuanced, so to speak. So it starts to take on a bit of a life form and it grows and interest in that idea will grow. You'll have people asking you, oh yeah, tell us more about that idea. So to give you an example, when I published my first book in 2014, Setting Goals Using the Smartest Method, that started as an idea back in 2010. So I was working on my coaching business, thinking about some kind of idea or product I could promote or use to distinguish myself as a coach. So I wanted to write a book because I love to write. And the idea came from that when I was looking at SMART goals. So the acronym SMART goals. And I thought, well, that's not quite smart enough. So what's better than that? Setting goals the smartest way. So that was the idea. That was kind of the outcome. Now, I didn't know how I was going to put that together or how it was all going to look, like the intricacies of it. But I nurtured the idea for a while. I played around with the acronym. I explored the words. And then bit by bit, I just started working on it. So that book actually began as a blog in 2013. So each week I would release a letter from a word from each letter of the method. So small, specific, measurable, manageable, and so on. And each week I would write a 500-word blog post about setting a goal in relation to that word. So how to set a goal that was small, how to set a goal that was specific, how to set a goal that was attainable. And each week I didn't know exactly how that was going to look, but I just kept nurturing the idea that, yeah, there is the smartest way to set goals, and I believe that that's an idea that I can make happen. So over time and nurturing, that grew and grew and grew, and then eventually became a book, and that book is what I see is like the tree. It is now sufficient. It functions on its own. I don't need to read the book to people. People can read the book. I use it to promote myself and my business. I use it as leverage. So I can't coach everyone on how to set goals, but I can give them my book and that tells them how to do it. So now that book will live forever. Much like a tree. At least trees live for a very long time, but ideas can potentially live forever. So think of that when you have an idea in your mind, it can grow into something. It just takes you being brave enough to explore that idea and give it a chance to grow. It might not become anything, it might become something great and spread out, and you never know really how far your ideas can go until you give them a shot. So growing ideas, just think of the life cycle of a tree. I'll post a picture on this Facebook page that kind of explains it, which you can have a look at after you watch this video. So don't just let your ideas sit in your mind, guys. Take them out to the world, let them grow, see what happens.